because you won't see much with the only thing is you don't see that much from the studio on my Instagram, but
Guys, we're live on YouTube, just so you know. Nakdi, we're gonna just set up the Insta live.
go. Okay, I'm gonna go live here.
Fab.
I'm live.
Oh my God, fabulous. I'm gonna request.
There we go.
All right, amazing. Nakdi, I've sent the request. Amazing.
Accepted you.
Hey, look at us multi-living.
Hey, live everywhere.
Right, I'm just making sure my laptop's muted. How are you doing, guys? So this is Lockdown Live. It's a blimmin' new week. I've got Nachtbraker joining me from his studio in the Volks Hotel. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm good.
Yeah, good.
How are you?
I'm actually really good. I'm quite tired today, but I'm feeling good.
You managing?
I'm managing to pull through. How's Lockdown Live been over there in the Netherlands? How's it been going?
Pretty good actually. I mean, I think we're one of the lucky countries where we didn't have that strict measures, and actually I spent for like a month in Sweden, where
Oh yeah, nice.
yeah, so there was actually almost no lockdown measures there. So basically, when I came back from Sweden to Amsterdam, there was, I think the lockdown effects were still here, but people were a bit more used to it and a bit more chilled. So I think I basically had I think I had a pretty easy lockdown.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not been so bad. And also, like, obviously you're not at home right now.
No.
You're at Volks Hotel at the studio. Have you been able to go there pretty much most of the time, or what's been the deal with that?
Yeah, so here in the Netherlands, there's actually, I mean, you can go out. I mean, they asked you to stay in, work from home as much as possible. But for me, the easy thing is I can basically take my bike, and it's a 20-minute bike ride. Lots of ventilation, air.
I was going to say, there's not much ventilation in there.
No, so it's like, I mean, it's open space, and then I can take a side entrance to go in here, and then I'm in the studio all alone, no one here, so I'm still isolated. And in all honesty, it's not that much different. I've been in self-isolation for a long time. It's basically what studio life is, I think. So yeah, no, I mean, I think it hasn't been that hard on me.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that I have to miss out on playing a lot of fun gigs I had planned, and also like I think for the future there won't be much happening until there's a vaccine, and that's just not a nice.
No, we'll definitely touch on that later. But we also want to talk about fun stuff. First of all, I just want to check, because apparently we've got a slight echo. Have we both muted our laptops?
Yeah, that's what I'm also hearing now, because I think you got the echo because I don't hear you here.
Yeah, I can only hear you on Insta Live, so I'm not sure why the echo is. I haven't got anything coming out my laptop at all. Well, we'll just have to see how it goes with the echo and hope that it just disappears, because we did a lot of troubleshooting before this. We worked it out.
Yeah, we did a whole thing. I'm sure it must be from yours, because I disabled my sound here, and I'm getting a mic. My mic is giving a level, so everything should be good. But
right, well, let's just see. Let's hope. I've done an extra mute. But so can you show us around the studio?
Yeah, of course. So okay, let's see if I can see everything clearly as well. So I just put my laptop now on the wait, why not? I'll just walk around a little. So
yeah, because that's the nicest bit.
So this is if you come out. Okay, let's go. How you come into the studio.
Oh yeah, nice.
This is maybe a little bit better view. So you walk in the studio. It's tiny but very cozy. This
cozy
is like,
in Dutch is my favorite word.
Yeah, you need that. You need to feel comfortable. So yeah, this is basically the space I shared with Steve, with Frits Wentink, and he was here before me, and I've been here now for 2 years, and we kind of together, built all these acoustic treatment. Um, and we made sure that the room sounded the way we wanted to sound. Well, if you see, for instance, these things, Steve made them by hand.
Yeah, how's he? Oh, yeah, amazing.
It's
How
a
long did that
diffuser.
take him?
I don't know, long time. But if someone has patience, it's Steve. Sorry, wait, I'm going to close the door. Oh, it's getting a bit better. So yeah, that's our studio. We've been here for 2 years now, and we basically made the whole acoustic treatment and made sure everything is comfy and nice. We don't have that much gear, at least I don't. I work mainly in the box. I think the most interesting piece of gear I have is probably, I'll show you this sexy mouse.
I love the sexy mouse. I saw the sexy mouse. I remember this.
Yeah. So you hold it like that. It's very ergonomic, you know?
Yeah.
It's basically...
It's like a standing chair.
Yeah. It's a space mouse. But I love it. I love it. But most people always wonder what that is. So that's definitely my most interesting.
Have you got any other like little studio mascots in there? Like we've got a little blue teddy in ours.
Not really. I mean, I got this little thing, but it's like a cheap plastic one. Never really use it. What I do, we do have this. So since I told you I share a studio with Steve, so we have some cozy pictures here of us.
Oh my god, cute! I actually thought that was your girlfriend, but it's not. It's Steve.
No, it's my studio, man. Yeah, that's what we do. So that's our family pictures here. And I think that's the most personal touch we have. But in general, no, we really enjoy this space. So this studio is situated in the Volks Hotel, and the Volks Hotel is it's a hotel, but they also have a restaurant on the 7th floor, and they have a club called Doka in the cellar, and which is an amazing venue. It recently they redid the whole sound system. It's like one of the, for me, it's the best sounding venue in Amsterdam.
Oh, you know? I'm not been next time.
It's seriously, it's amazing. It's super nice and perfect. It's like I think 120 capacity or something. I did like a couple all-nighters there now, and I was gonna do a lot more this year, but for now we can't.
Yeah, well, you know, we've been chatting to a lot of people about, you know, what they think the future of the industry is going to be, which we'll chat a little bit about later. But yeah, you know, a lot of us feel like a lot of the smaller intimate venues are going to be where things sort of start again, which is actually quite exciting because it's so nice to be in those intimate venues. Do you feel the same when you play?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I've always preferred playing small venues, and I think I'm definitely not a big room guy. I've always tend to go to the second room, the smaller rooms, if I was clubbing. So I think my music just is more tailored to that kind of rooms. So yeah, I enjoy the intimate tiny room vibe a lot more.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think and then also that's what I want to say. Like in this building, we have on the whole cellar floor here, we have multiple studios from various artists like Detroit Swindles here. So I share with Frits Wentink, and then there is Sam Proper. There's Basement Sound System, Anton Piete, Tracy.
It's a bit ridiculous actually. When you walk along the studio, the basement corridor, you're like, what? There's so many amazing producers just chilling.
Yeah, it's a really nice situation. I do have to say that, you know, we're all, you know, producers, and we just close our door and then we just do our thing. And it took a while for people to connect, because it's such a, you just go into your studio, do your thing, and then you tend to only get out to quickly go to the toilet, and just you continue. But I feel it's more and more opening up here, and it's super nice to hang with people. And that's why I really like that this initiative from Volks Hotel, that they opened Doka as a club venue, also to showcase talent from here in the Cellars. Cellar Studios, and that's really nice because I think I've already felt through the opening of that venue more, it was more connecting down here. So it's a very nice environment to be in.
Yeah, nice. It's actually like, I wonder, because there's so many amazing producers and people all making music there, quite regularly, if that's like quite a good influence on you. Like, when you go, you've got someone else to go to the gym with, you're like,
yeah,
all right, I've got to do this because I'm being held accountable. Like, do you feel like, because there's loads of other great people there, sort of, it makes you sort of get up and go a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Can you hear me all right?
Wait, no, I think I just got a lot of echo.
Oh, yeah, I haven't got any at all. I wonder if it's it's a Monday. I feel like we're having so many technical issues on a Monday.
It's
Mondays. Are you still getting echo now?
Yeah, no, this sounds better, but still I can hear myself echo. So it must be my output or my sound in your room.
Yeah, no, nothing's coming out of my room at all. It's completely silent. Do you want to?
That's weird.
Sorry, guys, we're having a little bit of technical troubles. We can easily come off one of the platforms, whichever one you feel more comfortable with.
You mean we go offline with one, or?
Yeah, we can either stay on Zoom and go off Insta, or the other way around.
I can still hear myself a little bit, but it's just it must be through Instagram because they're
yeah, because I can't hear anything at all, so it must be something to do. Is it something to do with the multi-output, or is it?
One sec, I'll just unplug this. Yeah, I can still hear my echo.
Should we start Insta Live? Which one would you prefer, or stay on Zoom?
Is my sound coming through speaker from your phone, or?
No, it's just coming through my Bluetooth headphones. That's and weird. No audio, yeah. So it's really strange. And then the laptop's completely muted, so it's the same settings as usual. So I wonder what's going on.
I'm gonna go live again. Let's see how that happens.
All right, amazing. And I'll do a request as well. So just bear with us, guys. We're just going live again.
There we go again. Let's see.
Right, so I'm just requesting to join.
Almost live.
Have you got me?
Okay.
Yes.
And
fingers crossed this one works. Okay, how does that sound? I'm not having any echo, are you?
Okay. A little tiny echo I hear. It's weird. I have no idea how that's possible.
So I'm really hoping, is it annoying or is it all right to carry on?
No, it works. For me, it works.
Oh, damn. So yeah, I was going to ask, like, what is a sort of typical day in lockdown for you? Are you like finding it quite easy to stay creative and get your sort of mental focus on the go?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's kind of, I noticed that a lot of creativity comes from being active and, traveling and meeting people, etc. So it's not necessarily that it's not that I get a lot more creativity just because I have more time. But it's I'm trying to structureize it a bit more. But like I said, to be honest, for me, the difference between the lockdown now and normal daily life isn't that big. Besides that, I can't travel and play gigs. Yeah. But I've been mostly working on my own, anyways, in the studio and going from home to studio back. So it's kind of similar in a way.
We're basically like lonely creatures anyway, producers, aren't we? And it, like you say, it's quite weird to chat to people when they're right next door.
Yeah, that's what happens, And I think like I noticed that a lot, that if I spend a couple hours, here in the studio, then I even almost have to activate my mouth muscles to talk to
Yeah.
people. Just kind of like, very, just used to being alone. But I like it if I'm making music. But
Yeah.
you do want to be able to, I don't know, like let off some steam in the weekend, and that's not possible right now. So.
It's not possible. I mean, like, what do you find you're missing the most? Because a lot of us are missing the club the most, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just miss getting together with people, and not necessarily going to the club, but just, I mean, I think the whole thing about going to the club is that you meet people, and get together. And I think that's what I miss most. And I think they're now going to extend it to 10 people here. I'm not sure. I think so.
10 is a good party size, to be honest.
That's nice. I mean, if you meet with friends more than 10, then it's gonna be hard to talk with everyone. So I think 10 is nice. But then you also kind of miss the, I don't know, just getting into the club room and dance and sweat and just have a long night. And especially I love the summers here, biking through just an empty Amsterdam at 7 a.m. in the morning. Now you can get it during the day, but I prefer it after a night of clubbing, just biking home, like hear the birds, and just I really miss the whole ritual. But I'm sure it's going to come back.
Yeah. So say all resumes, what would be the first club that you go to if all resumed like it was?
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, like I really like Doka. That's really my favorite venue right now. And if I can get all my friends there to come there, then that would definitely be my my favorite night there.
You can get 120 mates down there. Everyone's going to be so desperate to party after this.
It will work. It'll work. For sure.
And there's been, a lot of some artists are finding it really, really hard. They're struggling quite a lot, now that people are, making a lot of their money just from live gigs, right? So how are you finding yourself, supporting yourself through this time? Like, are you focusing more on streaming? What you're doing?
Well, I mean, obviously with streaming, it's hard to generate revenue. I mean, you can do Twitch, but again, I think, I always find it's, you can stream your DJ sets.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's nice every now and then, but I mean, the reason for people to go out mainly is just to meet friends and party, and of course to listen to good music, but you need those two together to get that vibe. So I mean, that's also a personal thing. I'm just not a big fan of a DJ set stream, because I kind of find that the DJ is inferior to the crowd, to people coming together. That's the most important thing about going out. And I mean, I imagined like you could have a live stream, and with now a group of 10 friends, I mean, you could basically watch a boiler room with 10 friends and dance.
At least you're getting some feedback, but it's all about the crowd just so right and the energy you get from them.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I thought of what would be cool is like, you get like if you do virtual reality, have like have a VR thing on, and you have a good pair of headphones, and I guess if you dance enough, you'll sweat, so you get that vibe at least.
But like, imagine if shit just keeps going down and we have to do everything VR forever.
I mean, it could be. Yeah, I wouldn't never. I mean, of course. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, that's definitely will never be a solution. The only solution is for us to be able to be together again. I think it's just about how we're going to get through this time, and I think it's going to be partly being patient, and partly it's going to be trying to find ways to connect still. And that's live streams is a way, but it's kind of saturated. And also, let's be honest, it was already saturated before this whole thing started. So yeah, VR streaming, that could be cool, but then again, that's very elitist. I mean, I can't afford, I can't even afford right now, especially VR glasses, or let alone the whole setup, whatever you need for it.
Well, that's actually interesting you said that, because, you know, it's something people hadn't thought of before, is that actually even in this current situation, it's actually like the middle tier of DJs, or sort of people that aren't earning, you know, like 75k for a show because
Yeah,
they were the
no,
top headliners. Like most of the middle tier DJs are the ones that are suffering the most, because
yeah,
and some people haven't got access to things that are going to take them forward through this, you know. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's of course that the majority of my income is. I mean, I'm doing it full time for for almost 4 or 5 years now, and I mean, of course, like 90% of my income is DJ gigs. So I'm not making anything right now, and you know, you can try to push your Bandcamp a bit, which is a great way for producers to, you know, get a direct connection with fans and have fans directly support their favorite producer. Um, but that's for producers. So if you're just DJing, then you know you can't. I mean, that's the only way to deliver your art. But for me, I tried it. I did a couple releases, but obviously it will never generate the same amount of income as you if you would go DJ somewhere.
yeah, totally.
So yeah, I think it's very hard to just change that whole system, because people are also not used to buying music, and it's really nice to see that a lot of people have been supporting through Bandcamp, etc. But yeah, it's hard to get to that same level of income from a DJ gig.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like the coming months are going to be fine, but I think most of us, in the people in my position, will maybe have to going to be looking at working part-time or somewhere else, or at least a way to cover the costs.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, in the Netherlands we're lucky to get some government support, but it's not much, and it's not going to be forever. So yeah, I mean, I have some savings, but at some point it's gone, and then yeah, and I think this is not going to be over in a year, and probably events are going to be one of the last things they're going to open up again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm slowly looking into alternatives to make some money on the side. But yeah, you have to. I mean, there's no other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's mental, isn't it? You know, so many of us are in this situation, and it's also really sad, because at the end of the day, when things open again, that's going to be the place people really want to go. They're going to be like, I need to let off steam, I need to go clubbing, and then we'll be like, we can't be DJs anymore, guys, because we haven't got any money.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but I mean, it's also a bit of the risk of doing it, because you know, you're kind of already living month by month, or in a way, or like, I mean, of course, you know, you have some stuff planned ahead, but it's not a solid paying salary, of course. So it's the risk you take, and yeah, gotta deal with it.
Gotta deal with it, because when it's good, it's good.
Exactly. That's the thing.
So what kind of have you seen any people doing like absolute bits online, like some artists doing some really great things?
If what I've seen online?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing some really nice streams, but again, like for me, I can't sit still and watch a DJ set for an hour. Just I can't.
Yeah.
But then I saw some guys sharing production tips in studio, which is really cool. I saw Desert Colony Sound doing this, for instance. That looked really nice, and
he's doing some really cool stuff, actually.
Exactly, and that's, I mean, and he's good at. I don't know if he's a teacher, but I think he's good at it, at the way he's doing it. I mean, we're not all that schooled in that.
It's really difficult.
I think it's not easy, but he's doing a great job. That was really nice what I saw, and yeah. But then again, I mean, if everyone's going to do that, then you got like 1,000 producers telling how, like, giving lessons. Then it's also going to be saturated. So
yeah,
I think it's for me, this period of time, I'm going to try to make as much music as I can, and find a way to financially sustain myself apart from music. And I think many of us will be doing that. But I want to try not to, yeah, oversaturate the streaming.
Yeah.
Even though we're streaming right now, but this is
I
something.
like this though, because we can actually chat about real stuff and like just work out how it is for each other, you know, because I feel like quite a lot of us are in the same boat, and it's actually maybe quite nice for people to hear that, not nice for people to hear that people are struggling, but you know what I mean, like that we are in the same boat and that other people are having a bit of a shit time as well.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yeah, it's nice to relate, of course.
But being positive and thinking about the future at the same time.
Exactly.
What do you think? I was interviewing Cassian last week, and Joe was saying about certain platforms rolling out like paid live streams. Do you think that's a sustainable thing?
Well, I think it's very hard to get people to pay for live stream because it's been free for years.
Yeah.
So it's hard to.
People don't want to pay for much.
No, but they're not used to it. It's just like with music, people, you know, a lot of people find €10 a month for Spotify too much, whereas they have access to basically all the music they want in a pretty good quality and instantly. So I kind of feel that it's going to be hard to get people to do that, and I don't think that's a solution in short. Because I mean, I wouldn't either. You know, it's the DJ set is meant to be for people in a crowd and people being together and bringing people together. And I'm actually, like, before this whole Corona thing, I was hoping, and I could see that people were steering towards being a bit more offline again and creating physical meetups, and you know, that's what I like about in stores, at record stores, and those kind of things were happening more and more, even though they streamed it live too. But people would come because they saw there's a live stream, and yeah, I think we just need to get through this time. But I don't feel that we should be innovating in a way that will keep us online instead of offline. And I think we're just, I mean, they're putting in billions, so there's going to be a vaccine at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think we just have to be patient with that and wait for that.
And in the meantime, make some sweet music in the Volks Hotel with your little Stevie baby.
But I think it's, you know, it's a matter of time before the situation will be better, and I think, you know, I can still make music and enjoy that, and maybe make different kinds of music. So yeah, I don't think we should be too negative about it.
No, I totally agree. And it's been really nice to chat to people, because, you know, people have been super positive and talking about how they're transitioning and what their ideas are for the future, etc. And it's been nice just to like see people's faces that you normally see in the club, but you're like, oh hey, we're on Insta Live. But speaking of music, obviously I like absolutely friggin' loved your release on Oz Music. Congratulations, it was wicked.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And obviously you've been releasing on your own label for quite a while before that.
Yeah. So I released, I think, for whole 2018 and 2019 on my own labels. In 2018, I did an EP and an album on Quartet Series. And then in 2019, I just did 2 EPs on the Nachtbraker label, which was just my own name, because I just wanted to put out some of my own music without linking it to Quartet Series, just straightforward Nachtbraker. And I did a remix EP of my album. And before that, I released a lot on Heist and Dirt Crew. But
that was like more groovy, sample based.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like the just kind of jazzy house vibe I was really into at that time. And obviously every artist evolves, and some artists choose to, you know, change name or project, and I decided not to, because for me it all went in a natural flow. And yeah, that's, for me, it felt more natural to do it that way. But I needed those 2 years releasing on my own to kind of like, you know, make that development and create my own platform and vibe. And I think that worked. And now I got the release on Oz Music, which kind of is a very broad. I mean, they release all kinds of music, of course, but with that particular EP, I think I did make kind of a statement of the direction I'm going in right now.
Yeah, that's nice. How do you feel like people reacted to the transition? Because I feel like it was kind of slow as well. Like you'd sort of put a bit of your new stuff in, your new sort of sound in there. And
exactly, yeah. I think it's it was nothing was on purpose. I think it was a gradual change, and that's also how I changed gradually. Of course, you change faster than your music gets released, because those tunes that I made on Oz Music I made at least a year ago.
It's mental how that happens, and you feel totally different.
Yeah, and that's why it was nice to release my own music. Like the Nachtbraker releases, the Parmigiana one and Leonardo Ceviche. I think those came out pretty soon after I made the tracks. So that's really nice, you know, that you got like a pretty direct output of the vibe and music you're into at that moment.
Yeah.
So that's what I really liked. But then again, I'm now at a point that I really need to branch out and that present the new sound that I have. And I noticed that if you just do it by yourself, it's very hard to push that, because a lot of my following, a lot of my people, the people who followed me since the beginning, were used to different kinds of music, and you also want to reach other people.
Yeah.
But since they already kind of know you, they think he's just doing that. So it's kind of a process and a weird chess play almost of how to, you know, get into the different, like, no, I'm making this now. And but so far, I think it's working. And in the end, it's just the way it is. It's what I make.
Yeah.
And it's not a way of framing it, or it's just you listen to it and that's it.
Yeah,
basically.
I totally feel like it happening all the time at the same time, as in, like, if that makes sense, just listening to your stuff and hearing an artist progress, I feel like it happens really naturally, even if you think, oh my god, this is so different than what I made like 6 years ago. I feel like you just naturally progressed in. And
I think everyone does. I think all artists do. Of course, some artists have a certain signature sound, and also have like a certain style that worked for them, which they built their career on. So they kind of probably feel pressured, but also want or need to be in that same kind of sound. And I always envy artists who are able to do the same thing for years.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Yeah. Is that because you can't sit still, like you said earlier?
Yeah. It's really hard to do that. I can't do it. I know, but then also I don't find it interesting, because I kind of like if an artist goes through a process and change. I mean, I don't want to compare me or anyone else to like some great painters, but if you look at painters, they also go through style changes, and they find new techniques. Or
that's the way we work as humans, isn't it? Like we love moving forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I read the Attack Mag interview, and it was just you were saying how one of the tracks fills the room like a shower fills the I want to get the quote right, a warm shower.
Yeah, it's like I think probably just said that. I don't know, can't remember it exactly, but I think you're talking about Fatu Morgana, right? Yeah, that song is really is like a warm shower. It's I was actually, I mean, I made it in the studio and I knew it sounded like a full body track, but then it really, one of the first times I impressed myself that I played it out in the club, and I was like, whoa, this is really like a beam of sound. Like basically the whole spectrum got filled with
the whole damn shower.
Yeah. So I really like that about that tune. It's kind of as if the whole as if it embraces all the people who are in the room, and you can see that it has that effect when I play it out. or at least that's how I interpret it. But yeah, that's one of the tracks I've been really happy with that I made, and it's typical a tune that just happens. Like I can't explain how I got to that tune,
Yeah.
or the production process, or how I felt. It was just things that came together, and then it really worked out.
Sometimes it takes like a few hours and suddenly you're like, hold on, this is better than something I've just spent 2 days on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
usually in general, it's the stuff that happens, quickly. That's the best, because it is in a certain flow, and you can hear that back in the track as well.
yeah, for sure. And you're in like hyper focus mode and you're just really vibing off it, so you get it done.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And why Oz Music? I mean, they're such a great label. I can imagine why, but
Yeah. You mean, sorry,
can you hear me?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, I'm holding this in just in case any echo is even coming out of my ear.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter that much. I can still hear the echo a little bit, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was just gonna say, like, why Oz Music is your transition out of like your own quartet series releases?
I think it went quite natural. I met Will Saw at ADE last year, and I already sent him some music before, actually through Lars de Maarten, through Dieter Swindle, and because they also did a release on us, and he listened to it, and I didn't hear anything, and then at ADE I wrote to him and we met up. And then he said, like, yeah, I actually really like it, but we need to, busy guy doing everything, all kinds of labels and stuff. And then he wrote to me later and said, like, boom, 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 these tracks, let's put it out. And that was only like 3-4 months later, I think. That's which quite fast usually for a big label like us to sign and release it, an EP. And I think it just felt right for me. I mean, Oz Music is a label with a insane back catalog, legacy, and I kind of like that it's very versatile. It goes over the whole spectrum of house music, I think, and it has a big audience, so it's a nice way to reach a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that's amazing for you, and it obviously sounded like it was going to be a really big year, but 2021 is going to be the
2021.
Really big year.
Exactly.
And what about your quartet series label? What's the sort of plans for the label?
Yeah, well, obviously I've put that a little bit on, not on hold, but taking it more easy, because investing like 2K in a record now is a lot of money. But I am in talks with a couple of artists, and I want to do a new quartet. I'm talking to Dan Piu. It's a Swiss producer, like made a lot of nice house, deep house, and techno in the 90s, and is still producing amazing music. And another is a Dutch veteran, like he made music early 90s, late 80s. His name is Maarten van der Vleuten.
Oh my god, great. What does Vleuten mean? Where's he from? What is it?
He is from south of the Netherlands, but I don't, the name doesn't have a literal meaning. I think
okay.
it's more of a maybe some area in the Netherlands or whatever it's named after. But he used to release on RNS back in the day. It's a really interesting producer, very musical. And other than that, I'm still searching and looking at artists. I'm very picky now, and I decided when I started Quartet Series, I really thought, like, okay, I'm gonna have a strict release schedule, at least 4 releases per year, and it needs to keep on going. And I kind of changed from that, because there's so much music coming out, and then I'd rather give it a bit more time. So what I'm doing now is I'm waiting till I have the 4 EPs together, the 4 artists, so I can release the quartet, at least announce all 4 at the same time, and then release them within a year's time or something. But that will probably be 2021 before I'm gonna really release something again.
Kind of excited about 2021 now.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of new music in 2021. That's for sure.
And obviously I was going to ask you this from more of like a personal level. You used to do a lot more sample-based stuff, and I'm making a lot of sample-based stuff, and actually finding myself moving more into different pieces of kit that now that I can't afford it, but when I was renting a studio before.
Yeah.
What kind of pieces of kit are you mainly in the box, or what have you kind of transitioned to?
Yeah, so I've always been working mainly in the box. I did sample a lot from like old vinyl records. I still have like a whole sample base of all the stuff I've ever sampled. Still use that a lot because you can get a lot of nice weird sounds out of it if you manipulate them enough. But I've been mainly using a lot of synths now, and actually a lot of people are surprised to find out that I basically use no gear. Like I get a lot of questions always like, oh, what gear do you use? How do you get that warm sound? And then I have to tell them I just use software.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, because nowadays the software instruments are so well done, they're so well designed and they sound so good. So I use a lot of Arturia. They have great synthesizers. They basically sampled all the classics and they're amazing. Then I do have to admit I use a plugin called Radiator from Soundtoys, which I just standard put on every synth I use, because
so many people are obsessed with Soundtoys. I think I need to get on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they're one of the best out there for VSTs, and that Radiator I can recommend everyone. Radiator, it's really, it just creates, it's called a radiator, the warmth to synths or percussion, whatever you want, and it's a tube amp, but then virtual. So
nice.
And then also I'm using a plugin called Taupe, Taupe, which is a tape emulator, and so I can show you. Like, I bought this.
I was going to say, does that work? Oh my god!
Yeah,
look at it.
So it works. It's a tape Revox A77 reel-to-reel tape recorder, and I used it a lot. But I mean, I sometimes bounced my my whole pre-master through it, and I mean, I had to do it something like 10 times over, because it could be like slightly the left channel fading out or slightly the red, and it's just so intensely. I can get
That's how it always used to be, and now we just get used to being able to do stuff sort of quickly and
exactly. So
cut
that's
corners.
But it's always like that, right? It's what you're used to. So and also I just found that, going through that horror of like re-recording a track all the time wasn't worth it. And then I actually, because I found that plugin that actually sampled this tape machine and many other, and it worked so well. Like it sounds, I can't distinguish it from the real thing,
You're like, see you later, I'm not going to be using you 15 times.
Yeah.
I'm using this instead.
I mean, it looks nice, but no, I mean,
yeah,
sometimes
it looks really good.
Sometimes I just feel like it, it's also, I mean, sometimes I just feel like sitting down and fucking around with that for a bit, and it just takes my mind off things and not looking at a screen. But yeah, I'm so used to the workflow in the box. Working with software is for me the easiest. I can just easy start a project, save patches in the synthesizers, go to a new project, do the same thing, switch in between, render it, bounce it, I don't know, like change it. It's so much easier to use, and it's all about workflow.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say also that it's nicer maybe to just work with hardware, because it's so intuitive and you can touch it, and it takes some time before you get somewhere. It limits you, which I think that would be my biggest plus of just using hardware, because there's so insanely many options in the box.
And we sit there just trying to make decisions, basically.
Yeah, that's actually what you're doing. I mean, and that's sometimes hard, because sometimes you're working on a track and it's just like, I can add this, but I also can't, but I can. And then you're just constantly, is this gonna, make it better or not? And that can be like a horrible loop you're in. And
it's half of it, isn't it? Just make the decision and move on, move forward.
Exactly. But then again, I do notice that you just got to move on. And I really try to tell myself, okay, I can't think longer than 10 seconds on this. And then I gave myself the rule that if it takes me longer than 10 seconds to decide if I like it, then I'm not doing it. So then it's just get it out and go on. And usually that's the best decision.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good idea. It's
Yeah,
just, it's more important to make the decision when you're in that indecision phase in between.
yeah,
You can really get stuck there.
yeah. You can might as well move on. That's
Yeah.
the. I mean, if there's any tip I can give a producer, just move on.
Move on, man.
Yeah.
And it's been quite nice asking everyone what their one sort of most played track is in isolation. Your isolation doesn't seem as strict as over here, though. So
No, it's not the same. But I have been listening to. I mean, I've been inside a lot still. Like I mean, we. I mean, in the Netherlands we were allowed to go out, but I mean, yeah, just to do groceries, and I would go for a walk in the park, but yeah, not more than necessary. But
so what have you been? Yeah, what have you had on repeat then, track wise? Is there something you've been listening to quite a lot?
Yeah, this I think this is just a track that I want to share because I've been listening this also before the whole lockdowns. It's just a track I really like. It's called Terrazzo from Visible Cloaks and Motion Graphics, and I can maybe set up now that I can show you.
I mean, I hope that it's going to work in our favor because clearly something's going wrong on my end, or probably my end. Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest about this. I'm in a professional studio right now, but I think yeah it must be some. But it's weird. I don't understand how it can echo at yours because
I think
it's not that your sound.
The only thing I can think is that you can hear what's coming out of my headphones, which is why I'm like this. But other than that, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on. Some sort of weird portal somewhere that's got us.
It's weird because sometimes I don't hear it, but the echo. But yeah. Anyways.
But I'm hoping that we can hear this tune that you've been playing on repeat.
I'm gonna see if I'm. See.
I could hear that. That was good. See, this is good interviewing people in their full-on studio because it means that we can do multi-outputs and actually listen to the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear this?
Yeah, I can. Perfect.
Yeah, this has like a super long intro, and then, or not super long, but a long intro, and then this super warm synth comes in, and it's just for me like, oh, I love
my warm shower, my cozy.
Yeah. I think it's gonna come soon. Slowly.
I'm really enjoying this.
It always calms me down a lot.
I feel super calm.
Yeah. Here, this is it. Synth coming in. Oh, love this.
Where did you find this? Where was the first place you heard this?
I think I have to credit Spotify for this, if I'm correct. I think I just got it in my Discover Weekly or something.
Sometimes my Discover Weekly is so bang on, it worries me, but I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this works really well. And then there's like this, let's see, yeah, here. It's a little glitch, and then
that is so nice.
Really cool.
What do you think about making some more experimental, like chilled stuff like this?
I've been actually doing that a lot recently. I can also let you hear a little bit of that.
Ooh! I feel quite privileged over here with the multi-output, even though there's an echo in my right ear. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah, so I've been actually making like kind of these floaty scapes, like this one. I don't know if you can hear it properly.
Yeah, nice.
So it's just, yeah, very easy chill. But you know, with this music, you need it on your headphones. Close your eyes.
Yeah, this is like perfect before bed music where you're like trying to get into the zone.
Exactly.
Are we getting first preview right now?
Yeah.
Has anyone else ever heard this? That's amazing.
No one has heard this before. And I'm actually I mean, obviously everyone's making an album right now, but I was making this before quarantine time as well, and I've been thinking of making a bit more chilled album like this.
Yeah, well, we've been chatting a lot. We talked about streaming earlier. Like a lot of people have been saying, oh, maybe it is my time to just focus on something that people might want to listen to more at home, because I have the time to do that, and that might be the way forward for the next sort of 6 to 12 months.
Who knows? Exactly. So I think it's a good thing. I think in the end, you know, these situations push everyone to creativity. By the way, this sounds better. Like less echo. If you keep your
that's what I was doing for ages.
It's so weird that it helps.
So bizarre.
But I think, of course, these situations push people to creativity, and I think in the end, you know, it's like you said, everyone wants to innovate and move forward, and I think these are periods where people get pushed to do these things, and yeah, sometimes it sucks, and then it will turn good in the end, because
I feel like we're going to come out of this just like more positive, awesome humans. I hope, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so too. I hope that a lot of people realize maybe that they've been in the wrong loop, you know, and that now they stepped out. They're like, oh, actually, this works or that works as well, or so hopefully it will turn out for the better.
And it's been honestly so nice to speak to you. I'm sorry about a couple of the technical difficulties,
No worries.
But it's been nice to be like open and kind of a little bit more serious, because your Insta stories are excellent and not and not so serious.
That's really my creative, you know, outlet, basically, my stories.
Yeah. Was that a filter, the one you just put up with your long nails and your eyelashes?
Yeah. That was real me. I dressed up, but I just last minute decided to take it off because, you know, we were gonna have a serious talk. So
I thought, you should have just kept it on the whole time. People wouldn't have known. Oh yeah, but it's been so nice to speak to you, and I hope everything goes well over the next couple of months for you and foreseeable future.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to speak to you. See you soon.
Bye-bye.